Hey, makeup artists. Hey, beauty enthusiasts. It's Dawn with MakeupClasses.com and DawnTilDuskCosmetics. I'm officially back on YouTube. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, today we're going to talk about facial anatomy. And I know that there are quite a few videos out there on YouTube trying their best explaining facial anatomy, but I really truly believe in my heart of hearts that what I'm going to be sharing with you today truly is the best explanation of human facial anatomy. In fact, I'm the only makeup artist in the United States that has intellectual property regarding how makeup is applied. So exciting. I've been studying this for years and I finally relaunched my book. I had originally published the Makeup Artist Design book. I believe it was either in 2002 or 2003. I believe it was 2002. And I started using the book when I was training makeup artists all over the United States in person, way back when. But we redid the book and it is new and improved and it is fabulous. And it also has the information that I use for the anatomical makeup method. That's my trademarked method on how makeup is applied. So, makeup artists, if you're interested in having confidence, if you're interested in having your clients truly trust you and what you do, this is the book for you. And you can order this right on MakeupClasses.com or DawnTilDuskCosmetics.com. So let's dive into the book. And we're going to use me as the example for facial anatomy. So I'm going to tell you a quick story. When I was in hair school, way back when I was in my 20s, I was studying from Milady Standard, which is the book that is still used to this day. Of course, they have many iterations, different editions, so they update it constantly, especially when it comes to hair cutting, because there are so many wonderful techniques. But the makeup section hasn't changed that much. But also keep in mind that every makeup school, every makeup training center uses the Milady Standard principle. Also, all of your cosmetic companies, when they are teaching their way of applying makeup, they're also using Milady Standard. Okay, so Milady Standard is the book that is used in cosmetology schools throughout North America. It may be used in other countries. I'm not too familiar. If you know the answer to that, if Milady Standard is used in other parts of the world, please comment down below. I'd love to know where they are at. So Milady Standard is used by cosmetologists in the United States, and the makeup section on how to evaluate face shape is extremely simple, and it is too broad. It's not specific for each person. So basically, what happened was I was in cosmetology school in my 20s. I get the book. I'm all excited because I want to know, what is my face shape? And I look in the book and I'm looking at the 5, 6 examples of face shape, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm not in this book. I can't relate to any of these patterns. I don't see me, or maybe I kind of see me. Same thing with the shapes. I notice in the book they're like traced over, so they're not exact. I also see that on YouTube. They'll have like a square frontal bone and then they'll carve over like an oval over it, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And I see a lot of frustration online, a lot of people on these videos, because I look at the facial videos that are out on the market, and people are writing in like, I don't know what my face shape is still. Great video, but I still don't get it. I still don't see me. And there's a reason why. And today I'm going to be answering all of your questions on how to evaluate face shape. And if this resonates with you, if you're in the industry, if you're the everyday person and you want to know what your face shape is and you get really excited from this video, please share it with all of your friends, family, all your besties, your salon professional, your hairstylist, because this book is not just amazing for makeup artists, but it's also phenomenal for hairstylists. Because I don't know about you guys, but I've gotten one or two bad haircuts in my lifetime. And it's usually because the layering, the shaping, the length does not work for my face shape. So I really believe that this is going to solve a lot of our problems in the beauty industry. Also, when I do a video on eye shape and eye lateral position, we're not going to do that today. We're just going to stick with the face shape. But that will also help lash technicians how to apply lashes for one of 32 eye combinations. So there are a lot of face shapes. There's 50, right? 50 face shapes. That's what I teach. 32 eye combinations, 36 lip. So if you're in the market for getting some permanent makeup, let's say you're microblading your brows, maybe you're going to do some permanent makeup on your lip, you're going to want to stick with this channel, because this is going to break down your anatomy so you get the right brow design. You get the right, let's say you're in the market for the semi-permanent lashes, the ones that that last 4 to 6 weeks. You want the right lash design, length design for your eye anatomy. Ever see anybody with lashes and say, ooh, too much. I can't see her eyes. She looks so squinty, right? The reason why that's happening is because the lash tech, again, is learning basics. And all of those basics, guys, they come from a lady standard. Pivot Point uses it. All the major cosmetology schools use it. And that's where our beauty education starts. It starts in the schools. And then those students, they go out in the world, they go to the salons, they start working. And what do? They start sharing this information. They start experimenting with the techniques. They start using it. And that's what's passed along. That's what's out on YouTube. That's what's out in all of the schools, all the cosmetic companies, all the makeup counters, Sephora, Ulta. They're all using the same information. And what I'm going to start sharing with you today is something new and revolutionary. And also, you want, like I said, come back, because we're going to do some videos on eye and lip as well. Plastic surgeons, you can also benefit from this, because you want to understand your client's face shape. You want to understand their eyes, their lip. If you're doing any type of injectables, if you're doing any type of bone reconstruction, this is really important for you. Yes, the book is written for makeup artists, but there are so many people in the beauty industry, in the image industry, that can really benefit from it. All right, so let's dive into the face shape. So this is the book, Makeup Artist Design Book. When you open the book, obviously there's table of contents. This is a 230-page book. A little love letter from me to you, why I wrote the book, how the idea came about. That's a fun story. Guys, the idea didn't come from me. Came from somebody else, someone very special, near and dear to my heart. So maybe one day we'll share that story. It's kind of fun. Um, and then I go into the product, the tool, the technique equals one thing always, a results. We'll do a video on that too, why that formula is so critical in the makeup business, in the hair industry, in the skin industry. The product, the tool, the technique always equals a result. Okay, so then on page 13, if you have the book, is, and this is my work. I don't use stock photography, my makeup and hair work. And this is all about face shape. So the first thing we're going to do when we look at the person's face shape is we study the frontal bone. So the frontal bone, okay, the frontal bone is your forehead. So the best way to evaluate the frontal bone is you have to pull the hair back completely. Wow, what a difference from when my hair was down. Okay, that's why a good haircut can really alter you for the better. Bad haircut, alter you for the worse. So you want to, work with a hairstylist that understands face shape. Hey, what a great gift to give to your hair person. I mean, if you want to give them something really special that they'll love, forget the candle, forget the box of chocolates. Get her or him the makeup artist design book. Man, will they love you forever. Okay, so we're going to pull the hair back and you basically trace the forehead. Okay, let me put this book down here, put it on my chair. You trace it in your mind's eye. So when you look at my frontal bone, what shape do you see? Am I oval, small square, round, square, triangle? Well, I have a square frontal bone. And one of the tipping points of knowing what my frontal bone is you could see I have big hands. And my hand pretty much lays flat. But also, when you're evaluating a square frontal bone, see the sharpness here? I have like almost like a line going here, right? Very, very sharp. Okay. So you can see that I have a square frontal bone. Look at me from a profile. And there's almost like a flatness here and an edge here. So I have a square frontal bone. Now this may be in the book, right? There is a square face shape. They say square, square, right? Or just a square. You're a total. That's why I don't agree with the cosmetology and all the videos that are out there, because they look at the face as a whole and they say you have a square face. Second part of the face that we're going to look at is the mandible. And the mandible is the lower jaw. Now, what I want you to do is find your hinge, okay? Because the mandible is actually a hinge. All right, this is what surgeons can actually remove. They can add to, they can trim, they could really do some work on the mandible area. This can actually, come off and be reconstructed, okay? That's your hinge. We're looking at the whole hinge. So find where your hinge is, right here. And this is your mandible. Now, another trick to deciding what the mandible shape is, again, we're splitting it in two parts. That's how we find the face shape. It's not as a whole, it's in two. What is the shape of the frontal bone? What is the shape of the mandible? And you can see that my frontal bone is actually wider than my mandible. So the trick is, if you're a little confused in the beginning, is compare top to bottom, okay? You can see that my frontal bone is actually wider than my mandible. My mandible shortens up. It gets slimmer in this area. Okay, so again, we ask ourselves the same question. Is my mandible oval, small square, round, square, triangle? So take your guess. I'm going to show you the book so you can compare the shape in the book to my mandible, my jawline. And these are the terms that we use when we do makeovers here at our studio. We use real geometry. Okay, we don't call people inverted triangles or, hearts. Oh, heart is a nice name. Or, pineapple. I don't, I'm being silly. But they're, we want to just work from real geometry, okay? Because geometry is truth, and that's what we're teaching women. We're teaching the truth about their face shape and their face and their anatomy. We're not teaching them trends or looks. I mean, that's wonderful, but those things shift. They move in and out over time, right? They're marketing. They're marketing material. Trends are to market you product. So you purchase what's hot, and then once that trend passes, guess what? There's another trend for you to buy more stuff. But if we understand what our anatomy is and we know how to place our makeup according to our anatomy, we do something beautiful every single time. And makeup artists, it builds your confidence, it builds that trust. So here are the mandible bones. Okay. You've got oval. See how smooth that is? Small square, a little bit of an edging, round, so wide. Think of like my frontal bone is wide, square, very wide, and then your triangle. And of course, the triangle will dip because of the chin area. So when you look at these shapes, these geometrical shapes, what do you see on my mandible? I'm trying to be serious. If you've guessed small square, you're absolutely right. And this is why, guys, when I was reading the books way back then, I pretty much read almost every beauty book that was available in the 90s and the early 2000s. I wasn't seeing my face shape. And I thought to myself, this just can't be right. It seems so cookie cutter. It seems like we're putting people in a box. So my theory is we're going to split the face in two, frontal bone, mandible, and that determines the overall face shape. Now, I have one more question to ask you. Do you think my face is oblong? So, like Sarah Jessica Parker, Cher, Oprah, Jay Leno, they have long faces. Do you think I have a long face? The answer is no. I do not have an oblong face. So, oblong basically means that it is long compared to the average. So, with your life experience, all the people you've ever seen or worked on, if you're a makeup artist, a hairstylist, do you feel that that person has a long face? And then they would go into a category of not only they have a shape on the top, the bottom, but they're also oblong. So, how did I come up with 50 face shapes? Well, there are 5 frontal bone shapes, 5 mandible, 5 times 5 is 25. Those 25 face shapes can also be oblong. So you can be a square frontal bone, small square mandible, but have a elongated face. So that would be the other 25. So 25 and 25 is 50. And that's how I came up with 50 face shapes. And all of my makeup over the years, since I started figuring this out way back when in 1998, I was working for the Sally Jesse Raphael show. And I would do my guests. I did all the guests on that show for 4 years full time. And guests would come on and I'd see them in the monitor and I'd say, "Oh, yes, okay, that they look really good. Yeah, I did a good job." And then another guest would be on and it's like, "Oh no, what did I do?" So I started studying pattern, facial pattern. I would write notes. I would take mental notes. I would go home, do my own makeup. When I would watch TV, I would stare. I had a terrible staring problem for years. And I started figuring out how light and darkness plays off of anatomy and how do I create balance and symmetry. and it's in my professional opinion, I've been in the beauty industry 30 years now, that if you create balance and symmetry on the face, you really accentuate the beauty in the person. I also love these techniques in this anatomy because it really builds confidence in the person that you're working on, or the person that is doing their own makeup, or the child, right? The teenager that is doing their makeup and they look at the book and they see, oh, wow, that's my face shape. That's my eye shape. That's my lip shape. I am so beautiful the way God made me. I am so beautiful the way I am, not the way the other person is, the Instagram face, the TikTok, whoever they're comparing themselves to, right? And that's a whole nother video. We'll talk about the comparison trap in the beauty industry. But the beauty industry loves that. They love that. That's like their way to, get us to buy more stuff, right? Oh, I want to look like her. So let me buy what she's wearing, right? But we know that that does not work unless your anatomical pattern matches their pattern. Their design will not work on your face. It's impossible. And it's 57,600 possibilities. So the question is, which one are you? Which one are you out of the 57,600 possibilities? So if we multiply 50 times 36 times 32, that's the algorithm right there. That's the possibility. So which one are you? So we know today that my face shape is square, small square. If you're interested in knowing what your face shape is, hit me up on a DM. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to learn more about face shapes, eye, lip, buy the book. The class, the Anatomical Makeup Method class, is free. If you're not in New Jersey, you can't make it to Montclair to a class, we will Zoom with you and you will learn how to use this book. So you can work on anyone and have amazing confidence and do what I do. And I did the homework for you guys, although I do tell my students to read the book. I'm like, you got to study it. You got to be a master. In fact, I have a student, she read it 3 times over Shabbat. She read it 3 times. She's like, and she's 17. And she's like, Dawn, I know this book inside out. She's amazing, amazing makeup artist. So she took my 20-hour class, got the, which comes with the book, and she's doing phenomenal. And she's a junior in high school. So if you're interested, purchase the book. Could we have a link on this, Erin? Do you think we could link it?
Yeah.
Jim? Yeah? Okay.
Description.
Yes, we're going to put it in the description. Jim and Erin are in the background. They've been whispering the whole time. They're so polite. So we'll put the link so you could get the book for yourself. And then you could see me on Zoom and you could ask me lots of questions. It's a 2-hour class for you to learn the anatomical makeup method. And I'm going to teach you all my little tricks and tips and secrets. And if you want to ask me about my television, 19 years of full-time TV career, you can ask me all about it as well. By the way, guys, if you're in Florida, I'm going to be at Premier Orlando in a few weeks, and I will be teaching not 1, not 2, but 3 classes just for you. And you can meet me in person, and I'd love to sign your book. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. Check out MakeupClasses.com, DawnTilDuskCosmetics, and I will see you here on YouTube very soon because I love making these videos. I'm so glad to be back now that we figured everything out. Let me just figure out, how do I stop this live without erasing it? Oh boy. I think I need help because knowing me, I will exit and it will all be erased. Should we hit this arrow here? Oh boy. You know how to stop the live? Should we just exit? All right, we're going to take a chance.